Hello and welcome to the Nightmare Podcast, the podcast series where we talk about horror movies and everything in the horror world. I'm your host, the Great Diggity Dane. Please enjoy the show. Hey, hello out there, guys. Alright, so this week I went to go check out Scream 6. I was not a big fan of Scream 5 when it came out. Did not like that movie at all. Thought it didn't hold up to any of the series, especially the first Scream, which I absolutely love that movie. But Scream 6 was a little bit different. I had a little bit of opinion on it. And let's jump right into this and see. So the plot of this one is about 1 year after surviving their Ghostface ordeal in Woodsboro, sisters Sam and Tara Carpenter, plus twins Mindy and Chad, go to New York City for college. While they're there, Sam is blamed for the whole killing spree, and is supposedly is getting blamed for framing Richie and Amber for what happened. All because of her being Billy Loomis's daughter. They think she's running this whole conspiracy of, she's the one that killed everybody in Woodsboro, and now she's moving on to New York. After the two wannabe Ghostface killers are murdered, a true new Ghostface emerges, going after Sam and Tara for the last attack. So this movie is very interesting because they didn't keep it like they did in Scream 5, where it was kind of, it's continuing the story of Scream and, having new killers just like we always do in every Scream movie. But this one really felt different. And I don't know if it was just the location of it, being in New York and having a different little atmosphere around it, but it was different. And with that, the performances were absolutely amazing in this. Sam Carpenter, played by Melissa Barrera, I thought she was amazing in this one. In Scream 5, she was kind of annoying to me. She was really annoying me, and them saying, she's Billy Loomis's daughter and all this stuff was really getting on my nerves. But in this one, she just felt more of a real character, and that she had a little bit more going against her, and maybe the way she was feeling about herself and things like that was a lot different. Also, Tara Carpenter in this was just played by Jenny Ortega. Jenny Ortega's on a tear right now, whether it's being Wednesday Addams or any of the other movies she's doing. She's a huge character right now in the horror world, and people just love her as an actress. She was amazing in this. Gale Weathers, played by Courtney Cox, also amazing. She just kind of owns up this character now. She enjoys this franchise, enjoys this movie. Great character in the movie as well. I do not like Chad and Mindy, which are the brother and sister. Two of the core four that they call it in this movie. They are annoying to me. I do not like Chad. Chad has this weird character where it's like he wants to be very playboyish and kind of like the sexy dude in the movie, but he also comes across as very homosexual in the movie. So it's a weird character that I'm not a big fan of Chad at all. Mindy, they have her playing like the Jamie Kennedy character, and I know her and Chad are supposed to be the niece and nephew, I believe, of Randy, Jamie Kennedy's character back in the Scream 1. But they play her up so much that she's always talking about this meta stuff and talking about like the horror movies and how she's doing this. And it's almost the same character that Jamie Kennedy played. But to me, it's not done as creative as it was done back in Scream 1. This one just comes across as very, again, like annoying almost. Like they stopped the movie for her to do this, and it's almost like they're talking down to the audience, saying, "Look, you're too stupid to realize this, so let us show you how it's done." I don't like her character, and I don't like the object of this core 4 thing and all this other garbage. Not a big fan of that kind of stuff. But the performances, like I said, from Melissa and Jenna and Courtney, wonderful. I really like their characters. And there's some other characters in this too. There's the cop, I can't remember his name. He's great. His daughter and son, they're just good characters. And overall, the character of Ghostface is very good in this movie. He's very vicious, very sick, almost animalistic the way he acts and the way he kills. Those parts are very, very good. Let's talk about some of my favorite scenes from this movie. The kills in this movie are really good. I really like the way Ghostface kills people in this movie. It's very vicious. It's very bloody. It's very barbaric sometimes. I have some favorite scenes. One scene, like let's go with the store scene, the bodega scene they call it. He walks into this liquor store. right away, kills the first guy, just chops him up. You know, a little bit later, the store tender tries to tell him, tries to shoot him or whatever. He grabs the guy's shotgun, shoots him down. Those aren't kills that Ghostface usually does, especially like guns. Like, he just shot that guy and just went on with his life, And then he's going around looking for the girls. The scene is so tense. Like, they're playing with sounds as they're throwing a can across the room and kind of confusing Ghostface. And the way they use like cracks in between shelves and stuff like that. That kind of stuff, it just builds this tension. And it's a weird tension because parts of this movie are really funny. And then you got these very serious scenes like that bodega scene where it's like, you're really scared for these characters, and you're wondering if Ghostface is going to get to them or he's not going to get to them. Are they going to get out of here? I mean, they're the main characters, so you're assuming they're going to get out of this, but at the same time, you don't know that, and that's a good feeling to have in a horror movie, and especially the Scream franchise like that. That was amazing. That scene. A scene I loved that I thought was hilarious is this ladder scene. So in the scene, they're stuck in the apartment that the Core 4 are in, and they're trying to escape to Sam's boyfriend's little apartment across the way. So they put a ladder there, and they're all crossing the ladder, trying to get away from Ghostface. He's trying to bounce in the door. She's banging at the door. He's trying to get in. So he gets in, and Mindy's girlfriend, I believe her name is Nika, something like that. She's crossing the ladder. Ghostface finally breaks into the room, goes over there, stabs his knife on the windowsill, grabs the ladder, and just starts shaking it, I mean, he could have picked it up, moved it, done anything. No, he's shaking it. And the way he's doing it is almost like a toddler throwing a tantrum. He's banging this ladder, he's trying to knock her off it, he's doing all this crazy stuff. And she's just screaming she's just screaming her lungs out, not knowing what to do because he's going crazy right now. He's behind her. He's not trying to cross the ladder, not trying to catch her. No, he's just shaking the ladder, and eventually he turns it over. She falls. I was cracking up at that scene. I thought Ghostface was funny. I thought he was showing some character. I mean, he wasn't just trying to kill her. It was almost like, I'm gonna play with her, before she dies. And I don't know, it's just a funny scene. Another one of my favorite scenes was the subway scene that you do see in the trailer, and it was a huge part of their marketing. That scene, the way they play with sound, color, and just the atmosphere of New York. They're like, and it's Halloween as well too in the movie, so it's like there's a bunch of other ghost faces and other killers, and like these people are all dressed up as different other horror icons. And it's like the way Ghostface is creeping through there, and as he's getting closer to the girl, and they're playing with these lights, and just the way he kills her too. Just an amazing scene. Builds that tension again. It's just a weird scene, but it's very, very cool and very well done. And again, for a Scream movie, it's like they put some effort into it. Like Scream 5, I never felt like they put any kind of effort into the kills or anything he did was that amazing. These were like very artistic kills and very signature kills. I mean, these are the kind of kills that you look at Ghostface and you're like, okay, now this is a scene I'll remember. This is something I see him doing something different than maybe I've ever seen another killer do. And I really liked that they did that. Another scene I really liked was when they stepped into that theater, that they had like a shrine for Ghostface. It was very like, it reminded me a lot of like a Batman, like Batman shows up and you see all his little costumes there and all the different, renditions of Batman or the Flash or something like that. That's kind of what it reminded me of. They had all the different Scream costumes from all the different movies, the different masks, the different weapons, and all this stuff. It's just a very cool atmosphere, a very cool scene. And just seeing how, like, the killers were so, like, connected and interested in Ghostface and almost fans of Ghostface and of the Stab movie and all this other stuff. It's just like a very cool scene, And I mean, yeah, it's kind of outlandish and not realistic or anything like that. But I think in a Scream movie, we're not looking for it to be so much realistic. We want it to feel realistic to the characters, but also be outlandish and have fun with it. And I felt they did that, especially in that scene as well. It was just fun. I want to say, this movie is paced very well. And like I said, kills are great, atmosphere great, the comedy in it, I chuckled a couple times. Even it was also like the chuckle when you're scared, but also the chuckle of just like Ghostface is after these people so badly that he's tripping over things, and not like in the goofy way they've had him trip over things before where, hey, they throw a bookcase, he trips over and falls and he can't get up. And no, they really, like, he's really trying to get people. Like when he falls over, it's because he's trying too hard to get them. And he's almost like an animal. Like he hits the ground and he's still moving. Like he's just trying to grab them as badly as he can. And I thought that was real amazing, you know? Like they really made him feel like he hates these girls, you know? Like he really hates Sam and Tara and he wants them dead, you know? It's just really cool. Like I said, very funny. But I mean, I can't put it any other way on how they made him feel. Like as a character, he felt so much more, there's no word to put it, but animalistic, you know? It was like he didn't care. He wanted his prey. I mean, and this Ghostface, I mean, we've seen it a little bit in Scream 5 where he'd attack in the daytime. You know, he's not attacking at night no more. He's not attacking when someone's alone by themselves. No, he's attacking you when people are there. You know, he don't care if there's people there. He's coming at you. You know, and he's not waiting for you to be alone. He's not waiting for it to be nighttime. Nothing like that. I mean, there's one scene where, he attacks Tara and Sam in the middle of a New York street. Pops out of the bushes. You know, he's calling them on the phone. They're sitting there giving him a little, like, kind of smart aleck remarks back. And he just says, forget this. I'm jumping out of the bush. And I'm going to try to stab you guys right here in front of people. I don't care. You know, I mean, he stabs Mindy on the train or on the subway right in front of people. You know, and again, it's like this Ghostface is a different incarnation of this character. And I kind of really like this one. You know, I hope if they're thinking about doing a Scream 7, I really hope they build on this kind of Ghostface. I mean, it's going to be hard for them to do it because, I mean, of course, these Ghostface are dead now. But I really like the way they were trying to kill. I like the way they killed, you know? Like, it was almost like a kill of passion. Every time they killed somebody, it was like, they stabbed them like 50 times. You weren't getting back up from these stabs. You know, usually they stab somebody, they kind of bleed out a little bit. They were not messing around with this one. I think, like, in conclusion to this whole movie, I'm going to say right now, I liked it a lot more than Scream 5. Definitely liked it a lot more than Scream 5. Like I said, Ghostface was just more vicious. He wanted his prey so badly. It was funny and scary at the same time. And that's not something I felt about a Scream movie in a while. You know, sometimes it comes across like, okay, there's a killer out there. He's the boogeyman. He's coming for him, and you just never feel that tension rise as much as in this movie. I mean, there was times where I wasn't sure if these characters were gonna live or die, or what was gonna happen, because he would put them in these weird predicaments where it's like they're not getting out. They're not getting out of this. They're gonna die. I really enjoyed that. Like I said, there's a few bad characters in this that I did not like. I mean, especially Chad and Mindy. Not a big fan of them at all. I kind of wish they wouldn't even be in the movie. I don't know what their purpose is. You know, I mean, I understand Mindy is taking over that Randy character, and she's the one that's kind of giving you that meta of, oh, we're in a scary movie, and these are the tropes we're going to do, and we're going to follow. I don't like her character. You know, I don't think they need that. I know that's been a thing of the Scream franchise of being like, almost like we're telling you what a scary movie is and what we're building on and all that. I don't like that character. I don't think there's a need for her. Her brother Chad too. He's just there, and like I said, he kind of serves no purpose. I mean, he's like the love interest of Tara, but even then, I don't know if I believe their love. You know, it's really weird and creepy. Another thing I really did not like in this movie is that they kill people, but they don't die. You know, when you looked at Scream 5, it was like, even when they killed Dewey, you know, you had the three characters come back, these legacy characters. You had Sidney, you had Gale, you had Dewey. When they killed Dewey, you felt it. You know, you were like, okay, this character, they're not going to kill him. He's dead. He's gone. In this movie, I know they didn't have Sidney, and, you know, they couldn't work out their deal with Neve Campbell and everything else that was going on. And it was like, okay, that's why you have Gale here. So we're going to kill off Gale and give that, you know, that character an emotional outing and stuff like that. And her death was glorious, too. I mean, he stabbed her amazingly and everything. And then she's not dead. You know, you had Mindy. Okay, people like her talking about the meta and all this stuff. He stabs her. She's not dead. Right back again. I mean, Chad gets tag teamed by two Ghostface. Stab, you're like, oh man, that sucks for Chad, man. Him and Tara were finally kind of making out. They're finally getting that love together, and now he's dead. Oh, that's heartbreaking. No, he's not dead. He's fine too. And it's like, there's no stakes. It's like every time we had stakes and you killed them and we had an emotional reaction to that, you brought them right back. So I'm not a big fan of that kind of stuff. I mean, I know the MCU kind of does that things all the time, and it sucked to see this in this movie where it was like, oh man, you killed Gale. I can't believe you did that. No, she's fine. You know, you killed Chad and Mindy, which I was happy for, but hey, they're dead. And in the movie, you're kind of like, wow, you know, this really sucks that they're dead. I kind of feel for them. No, they're fine too. And I don't know if this is all building to Scream 7, but I'm almost afraid if there's a Scream 7 and they kill these characters, they're going to be right back. You know, I mean, I don't know if they weren't scared to kill like even a character like Gale because we're not sure if Neve Campbell's going to come back, and we have this Sydney character. I mean, what are we going to do? I don't know. Yeah, so I wasn't a big fan of that. But overall, this was a very enjoyable movie. Very, very enjoyable. I had so much fun in it. Like I said, I laughed. I was scared. I just became a bigger fan, I think, of Ghostface in this movie. And I can't say I said that for Scream 5, you know? It was almost an embarrassment to watch Scream 5 and be like, oh, they're just kind of making these movies now just to put them out and make $1 on them. And this one felt really thought out, really fun. I mean, if they announced a Scream 7, I'm actually going to be excited for it. You know, thinking, hey, am I going to go to the theater and have a good time with this? That's a good feeling to have, especially in a horror franchise where we have 6 movies now, probably going on a 7th. I mean, it's good to have that feeling of like, hey, I'm kind of interested in it. I'm kind of excited about it, you know? Put a smile on my face, had a great time at the theater. I mean, besides these little downfalls that I highlighted, I thought it was a fun movie. And like I said, when you walk out of a horror movie, the one thing you want is you want to be able to recite a scene and say like, hey, I really enjoyed this scene or that kill. And this movie had multiple kills that were amazing and great. And then, I mean, we had these scenes, like I said, that ladder scene I loved, but that's more of just a funny, joking, like, love for that scene that I liked. But I mean, that shrine scene, that atmosphere, the subway, the store one, those scenes are amazing. And I think they really helped bring this movie to a whole other category for me. I mean, without those scenes, without those kills, I mean, I don't know where I would kind of rate this film, but those scenes heighten this movie so much more and almost give it an artistic feel to the way horror is done. Yeah, I mean, my final count for this, I mean, the way I review movies is I give it a body count, and that's not how many kills are in the movie. I give it a body count as just my rating. It's 1 out of 100. And this movie, I'm going to give it a solid 75. I mean, I grade really harshly, I think. And I just had fun with it. I mean, as much as it's not an original idea or they didn't do anything too original that you've never seen in a movie before, it's just the way they put it together was fun and enjoyable. And like I said, when you have actors that are doing their job, like Melissa Barrera and Jenna Ortega and Courtney Cox, like you can tell that they're invested in these characters. And when you have actors that are invested in these characters, it comes across on the screen. And it was amazing. I enjoyed it. Yeah, so I think this concludes my review of Scream 6. It's enjoyable. I hope you guys get out there and see it. And until the next time, sweet dreams and glorious nightmares. Peace.